And this was so important for me to understand because I just felt like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I think on these praiseworthy and good things? Why do I feel so depressed? Why am I so up and down? And for me, the anxiety, that's low progesterone. That also is low serotonin, low dopamine. And that can cause us to look for quick dopamine hits, like quick sugar fixes, even things like scrolling on your phone, shopping, alcohol, things like that we turn to that are giving us a dopamine hits because our dopamine is depressed. Gaining belly fat in perimenopause and menopause, even while eating trim healthy and doing all the right things. Feeling exhausted, inflamed, and so done with the scale. Hey, I'm Chris Honeycutt, Jesus follower, trim healthy coach, and your midlife hype girl. I believe God didn't design you to live stuck, bloated, or burned out. This podcast helps you partner with your hormones, ditch the belly fat, and finally feel strong, calm, and confident in a body you actually enjoy living in. Hey friend, before we dive in, quick heads up. If you're in perimenopause or menopause and feeling stuck with stubborn belly fat, low energy, or eating right but not seeing results, I created something just for you. Join me for the Beat the Belly Fat Workshop, a free 3-day event to reset your body, restore your hope, and partner with God in your midlife health. It's happening September 29th through October 1st, and you can grab your spot at getyourtrimon.com/workshop. I would love to see you there. Grab your sipper and let's go. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Honeycast. Today, I'm going to be talking about why you might not be feeling like yourself in midlife. This is one of the biggest things I hear my ladies, when I talk to them, say to me is, I just don't feel like myself. And so I don't know if you can relate to that, but here is how I've been able to relate to this. Because I started feeling in my mid-40s, honestly, I would say things like, I just feel like I'm going crazy. Now, that's a bit extreme, but the things that were going on in my brain, in my body, in my mood especially, they were just so different than what I was used to experiencing. Do you ever wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and think, where did she go? The woman who had energy, motivation, and maybe even a little sparkle in her step. And now she feels tired. She feels foggy. She looks puffy. She doesn't feel quite herself. Well, if that's you, I want you to know you are not alone. And I hear this from women in midlife all the time. I just don't feel like me anymore. And it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because your body and your brain and your season are shifting. I want you to know that this is normal, but it doesn't have to be that way. I like to normalize things because if we think, oh my gosh, something is very wrong, we start focusing on the problem. There's really not a problem. There is a shift that's going on. So I want to normalize this a little bit, but I also want to give you some powerful tools to help you find yourself again. And it might even be a new and improved self. But here's the truth. You're in a new season, and even though it feels like a foreign season, it's not a mistake, and you're not going crazy. I love what Ecclesiastes reminds us in the Word, that there is a season for everything. And God is in this season as well, and He's walking right along with you, and He is going to lead you and guide you. And today, I want to unpack 5 big reasons why you may not be feeling like yourself. I think it's really helpful to understand why, like the why of this issue can help settle it somewhat and also give you the power back to take some steps forward in finding your new self and finding your new resiliency and your new vibrancy and maybe having compassion with this current self that you're looking at in the mirror or you're dialoguing with. Our internal dialogue is so important in this season. And honestly, I'm going to do a whole nother podcast on that because our mindset and our internal dialogue is a bedrock for success in us figuring out, how do I support my body in perimenopause? How do I support my body in menopause so that I can feel like the best me that I can be and show up for all the things, all the opportunities that God has for me. So let's unpack the 5 big reasons why. I'm going to go over them quickly and then I'm going to break them down. Number 1, hormonal shifts. Can I just say it's those hormonies? It really is. Like, let's just say it. Let's blame it on the hormones. Yes, we can. Second, brain chemistry changes. This is so fascinating when I learned what's really going on in the brain. From premenopause to postmenopause, it is just really amazing what is happening. And it's helpful to understand that. Third, physical symptoms that can just wear you down. 4, body composition changes. And 5, identity and lifestyle pressures. So by the end of this episode, I hope that you understand what's happening in your body and in your life. And more importantly, that you will feel seen, supported, and reminded that your identity is secure in Christ, no matter what changes midlife brings. All right, let's dive in. Number 1, hormone shifts. Let's start with the one that feels like the rug gets pulled out from underneath us. It's our hormones. In perimenopause and menopause, estrogen and progesterone begin to decline. These are chemical messengers that influence everything from your sleep, your energy, your mood, and your metabolism. So when they shift, it can feel like your body just isn't cooperating anymore. But here's the hope. Even when our hormones feel shaky, you know what? God never changes. And He reminds us that He is the same today, yesterday, and forever. And just because there may be changes in our body, we can lean on His understanding and we can lean on His steadfastness to meet us right here in the middle of these hormone shifts. He designed our bodies to do this. So there are ways that we can, I don't like to say hack in a negative way, but there are ways that we can mitigate some of these changes that are going on. And some of it is also just an understanding, okay, this is where we are right now. That's okay. I'm not always going to be in this place, but what can I do to support my body? And those hormonal shifts can start in our late 30s. I know some of you guys are like, I'm not even close to perimenopause, but these things start early on. Some of you might not experience them until mid 40s or late 40s, or maybe even early 50s. But the hormones do begin to transition late 30s and early 40s. So you have this going on, whether you're seeing it show up in your life as symptoms. Have you signed up yet for the Beat the Belly Fat workshop? This is my free 3-day live event happening September 29th through October 1st, where I'm teaching you how to turn on fat burning in midlife without dieting, guilt, or confusion. You'll learn how to eat, move, and support your hormones so you can finally lose that stubborn belly fat. So go to getyourtrimon.com/workshop and register now. It's free, it's live, and it's going to be a game changer for you. See you there. Number 2, our brain chemistry changes. And as hormones shift, neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine often dip. This can leave you dealing with brain fog, low motivation, or even more anxiety than usual. So it's not in your head. This is biology. And this was so important for me to understand because I just felt like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I think on these praiseworthy and good things? Why do I feel so depressed? Why am I so up and down? And for me, the anxiety, that's low progesterone. That also is low serotonin, low dopamine. And that can cause us to look for quick dopamine hits, like quick sugar fixes, even things like scrolling on your phone, shopping, alcohol, things like that we turn to that are giving us a dopamine hits because our dopamine is depressed. And so our brain actually changes. It changes from premenopause to postmenopause. Our brain in perimenopause and premenopause works on estrogen. We have estrogen receptors everywhere. And guess what? When estrogen declines, our brain has to start functioning in a different way. And that's when we see some cognitive decline, brain fog. And I definitely had that brain fog, still do, even though I am on bioidentical hormone replacement therapy and I am what we call optimized. I still experience some of those brain fog moments. And I know that it's my hormones and my brain chemistry. And that's why I want to do everything that I can to take care of my hormones. How can I take care of my brain? Number 3, physical symptoms just wear you down. And you might know this too well. Those physical symptoms that appear, the hot flashes, the night sweats, the poor sleep, the joint aches, all these pile up and make you feel drained even before the day begins. And while these symptoms are real, they don't have to define you. And it is easy to stay in that unmotivated place. And sort of, I guess for me, I felt kind of like a victim. I found that I was just complaining a lot. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with processing some feelings that we have about the different seasons that we're in, but it definitely did not help me to continue to rehearse all the negative things that were going on. And those physical symptoms, a lot of them dissipated when I started using bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. Even if you can't use that, there's still some things that you can do for those physical symptoms. And it may be herbal. It may be some supplements. We may need to take a look at your lifestyle. We may need to look at stress. What about your sleep? Are you getting adequate nutrition? Are you feeding your body well? Are you exercising? All of these things actually can play into some of those physical symptoms. And 4, body composition changes. And this is a big thing that happens also in midlife, is that when estrogen declines, estrogen tells fat where to be deposited. And so when that's gone, our fat usually goes to our abdomen because that's where we have more cortisol receptors. And as estrogen declines, our cortisol levels rise. That changes our body composition. And then we often lose muscle. We start losing muscle in our late 30s. That is also going to slow metabolism, weight gain around the midsection. And honestly, it can just be one of the most frustrating shifts because it just feels like your body is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's not responding anymore. And so even that, in that space of being frustrated with the body composition, I could look in the mirror and be like, wow, I don't look like I used to look. And I don't feel like I used to look. What is wrong? What is the problem here? And I'm going to go into some more mindset things here, but I just want you to know that you're not alone in these thoughts. There's so many of us that have experienced it, going through it, and what you say to yourself and how you choose to show up in this season is your power. So let's talk about the last one. Number 5, identity and lifestyle pressures. This is life. Maybe you have kids that are leaving home. Maybe you have parents that need more care. Maybe you are raising your grandchildren. Maybe you still have younger kids at home like I do. I'm 57. I still have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old that I'm homeschooling, and we're taking to football practice and baseball practice. Maybe you are full-time working. Maybe you are changing careers. There's a lot of transitionary things that happen during this season of our life, not to mention those physical and chemical and hormonal. And so everything can feel like it's not working anymore. And to understand why this is going on, I think can give us the power of choice. We can first make peace. Okay, this is going on right now. I'm going to normalize it a little bit. And now, where is my power? My power is in how I choose to show up, what I choose to think about this season of life. Am I going to choose to be a victim, or am I going to choose to walk in victory? What am I going to do in the natural to take care of some of these issues? Where is it up to me that I can show up for myself? And what do I need to let go to God and that I'm not in control of? These are just some great things to be thinking about. But in this episode, I really wanted to just meet you where you are and say, girl, I see you. You are not alone. There is hope. And there are also some things that you can grab a hold of and start walking in victory, walking out of this season of not feeling like yourself into the best you've ever felt. Did you know that I have a free community of women in midlife just like you? Busy women who are working hard to lose weight with the Trim Healthy plan, but feel hijacked by hormones and unexplained weight gain. I share menopause tips, superfood spotlights, delicious recipes, and so much more. Come join us at facebook.com/groups/get your trim on.